with available wireless charging, voice command navigation, and 8-inch touchscreen to help sync up your world. Come into Kia of Cheyenne or call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and do apologize to Andrew here as I was talking with Jade, because really all the years that I've been following Post 6, never really had a chance to, interact with Jade. Always been with Tag and now with Ty.
Probably show up to a Powersville game or something like that, and
maybe
beforehand.
Don't even go there. Anyway, Andrew, do you go by Andrew? Andy, what do you want us to call you?
Yeah, definitely. Most people just call me Andrew.
All right, Andrew. Let's talk about you and as we introduce you to the community. School you go to?
I am going to be a junior at Central High School.
All right. Do you do any other sports besides baseball?
Yes, besides baseball, I also wrestle and play football.
And for the Central High Indians, regarding football, as we're getting close to that starting up once again, what positions do you play, at least on the football side of things?
So for football, I am a cornerback and a receiver. So those are the two positions.
Any preference on one or the other, or you just like playing both sides of the ball?
No, I definitely just enjoy both sides, and they're just so different from each other that I enjoy them both.
All right, now with Post 6, your positions?
So for Post 6, I am a catcher and a center fielder.
Okay.
Any preference on either or for Cheyenne Post 6?
I love them both. I've been spending a lot of time at both of them, so I got to keep them pretty equal.
So in giving us a little background regarding Cheyenne Post 6, how many years have you been with the Post 6 family?
So this will be my fourth season for Post 6, so I've played a year on each team, and I'm finally on the varsity.
So you've had at least a lot of experience, again, as you mentioned, football, wrestling, baseball as well, too. Junior, at least upcoming for Cheyenne Central. Obviously, you got plenty of time to kind of figure out post-graduation from high school here in town, but have you at this point in time kind of chosen a path, so to speak, of you want to be a wrestler in the next level, baseball, football? Have you kind of put a focus point on what you want to do post-Cheyenne?
So, yeah, after high school, I've really wanted to focus on mainly baseball, but I've really also been open to the idea of going to college for football.
Let's talk about Post 6. And again, too, we've asked all you guys that have come in here, let's talk about this team. And, again, I go back to the bash that we had, and Coach Lain says, we're not sure, and we're being disrespected this year because we're younger, and a lot of guys left the team from last season, aged out. But let's talk about your team in general. How do you feel how this team has gelled together throughout the course of the season?
So one of the really important things that I've felt about this team that I haven't really felt before is the brotherhood that we've made. And I feel like this team, we're truly, really close, and we all know each other and are just close in every way. So I feel like having that relationship with everybody and knowing that that person has your back and you have their back is just really important, and it's helped us play to our top potential.
As we look at tournaments, and then again, obviously we got this big CABA coming up, and then we get ready for state. We know it's going to be in Gillette this year, and again, I don't want to bypass this tournament, but again, guys ready for this? I mean, are you guys ready to take this title and continue the Cheyenne Post tradition of winning state championships?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like just keeping it simple and taking it one pitch at a time, and still we have room to improve this year, so improving over this time until the state championship and the state tournament in general, that we can really just help ourselves out and keep it simple.
Talk about, at least with you, Andrew, as we get an understanding to get baseball, football, wrestling. You're a busy guy throughout the year, competing in all those sports. And obviously with baseball condensing down, where we just saw this past weekend, a lot of baseball, a lot of action for you. Upcoming, again, busy all the way from Tuesday to Sunday. Has there ever been a point for you of just, growing kind of fatigue throughout the year? Or, is it when you get a break like for today, do you take advantage, like full advantage of that, of just kind of resting, relaxing the body and just trying to just chill out for a second? Or, just talk about just, building up that stamina and trying to avoid fatigue throughout the year.
One thing is I try never really to get to a point where I get fatigued. So every day I'm doing something. Like today I had football, and I'm also going tonight to football. So it's just something that I think keeping myself busy and never allowing myself to get fatigued and just staying busy year-round has been really important to like all sports that I play.
Now, we've always asked all guys that have come in here, favorite baseball team. Please don't hurt us with one team that in the West that we really despise. So go ahead, tell us who your favorite team is.
So I'm kind of between two teams. I like the Rockies, of course, but with Brandon Nimmo going to the Mets, you got to love them. He's just having a hometown kid on that team. It's hard not to like.
Now, again, you play catcher and you play outfield. So, any catchers that you like to emulate, you want to be like, you see, and I'll just throw out,
whether it's current or old school.
Like Buster Posey or, an outfielder like Bryce Harper. I mean, do you tell us a little bit who you really look up to as a good pro?
Well, I really like for catcher, I like Yachty and Salvador Perez. They just stick to the fundamentals and do everything. So
they're old school,
perfect.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they do throw someone out, it's just an absolute cannon. So I really just enjoy that fun part of the game. And then looking outfield, I just like anyone who can go make a play, like Mike Trout maybe, or I really like the speed, like a Billy Hamilton who can go make a play deep in the gap. So I enjoy watching those guys.
And focusing on the outfield, and something we've talked about, whether it's softball or baseball, and obviously we're seeing it here today. Weather has always been a factor this season, canceling games or either practices, having a little alteration for Cheyenne Post 6. But have you noticed, again, being a center fielder, or at least playing in that outfield, that the weather has kind of affected, reads, so to speak, of where, on those clear days, hey, we're not so used to that, or, trying to deal with the open skies, whether it's being trapped in Wyco or at least not getting that on-field practice. Have you noticed at least a little issue being in the outfield this season with the weather that we've been having this season?
Well, I'd never say it was really an issue, but it's different depending on the weather. And if you have a windy day, then obviously something's going to be different. But with living in Wyoming, early season and practice and whatnot, we had a lot of practices where it was windy or maybe cloudy. So I feel like we've got a lot of practice in these different climates and different weather situations.
Yeah, we play from winter all the way through fall in one day sometimes out there at Powers Field. Andrew, we want to thank you so much for joining us here. We wish you all the best, continued success, and looking forward to catching action here this week at the Cabo tournament again, which is beginning tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night, 7:30 at Powers Field, at least Pueblo Azteca team taking on Cheyenne Post 6 over there. So go cheer on the Post 6 Sixers again in town for at least the final time this year before they head out, continue the season, and also to the state tournament up in Gillette.
Jade, Lain, Andrew Johnson, thank you so much for joining us here on 1480 KRAE. Going to take a time out. We'll be right back.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480krae.com.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Are you thinking about buying a new water heater? You could spend $1,300 or more on a gas-fired water heater. Or you could spend $0 on a top-of-the-line electric water heater from High West Energy. That's right, $0. High West members can upgrade from gas to electric without spending a penny. Don't you wish all decisions were this easy? Go to highwestenergy.com to learn more or call 307-245-3261. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise, for today, it's going to be partly sunny. Expected daytime high is 79 with a chance for showers and afternoon thunderboomers. For tonight, partly cloudy or low down to 53 degrees. Tuesday's forecast, sunshine. We're calling for a daytime high of 81 with a chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low down to 51. Wednesday's forecast continues sunny. We're looking for a daytime high near 80.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We do want to take this time to thank Chuck Heeman, who is the owner of not one, not two, but three teams in the Expedition League. And matter of fact, we were in Gering yesterday. At the beautiful facility that the City of
brand new
built for the Western Nebraska Pioneers.
$2 million invested into it. Yeah, again, the long-running joke, as we were talking with Chuck yesterday, as he greeted us in the stands and took care of us. But $2 million stadium, but unfortunately the city didn't invest about $7,000 in a tarp. So as that field out there is pretty much non-artificial, it is all
grass,
all dirt out there. Interesting mound again that absorbs some water, but. Again, it's all natural out there in Gering, but the city couldn't at least invest into a tarp. So with the weather that they've experienced, along with us and Casper as well too, they've ran into a few rainouts. But it is what it is this season. It has just affected all of us here, whether it's the state of Wyoming, up in South Dakota, Nebraska. Everyone's kind of dealt with it down to Colorado. So
it's like we're a season behind. I mean, this should be springtime weather right now. And again,
I'm going to complain again. It is all, as we drove throughout, southeast Wyoming, Nebraska as well, too. It's all green, so it was definitely not in a drought as we've been in years past. So, I mean, there is that benefit, but regarding kind of at least outdoor athletics, it's been a pain. But game got underway, though, last night between Western Nebraska and the at least lone Canadian team, Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. There is the final, I do believe, weekend homestand for Western Nebraska there at Gering, Nebraska, where they came away with a 5-1 victory. But, it's something that we talk with Chuck and we talk with other entities about this Expedition League, this baseball league, and where it hosts collegiate baseball players. And in looking at the lineups that were announced last night for both the Canadian team and also, too, for at least there in Gering, Nebraska, with Western Nebraska, you got some big name schools, whether it is top tier JUCOs like Pima Community College, or even, for instance, we heard the likes of folks coming in from BYU,
Boise State.
You had California, San Diego. You had Oral Roberts, all the way from the city of Chicago. So you had some good representation of some good baseball. I think Arkansas as well too got some representation. The Razorbacks. So this is not some little dumpy league that just found some, random players here and there and we just set it up. No, they've done their research, and these are some top level, eventually semi-pro, if not professional talent that are playing a part of these teams, whether it's in Casper, whether it is in Gering, whether it is, eventually up in Rapid City. It's throughout here, this kind of Rocky Mountain Midwest region.
But what you're not saying it. You're kind of I don't want to say skirting around. You're kind of alluding to it. The brand of baseball was good.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the baseball that we saw yesterday. Matter of fact, Western Nebraska threw a lefty, and the right-hander that threw for the Whiskey Jacks. They were good pitchers, getting the ball over the plate, keeping it down low. The hitting, we saw about 2-3 balls, and it's interesting too. At Gering, it's 320 down the lines, 365 to the power alley, straightaway center's 382. But we also saw yesterday, and this is when I was talking with Chuck, is when the clouds rolled in and it became very humid, home runs, and we saw a couple 3 cracks off the bat.
That should have been,
They should have been homers. And, of course, they got knocked right down because of the humidity in the air. But, the brand of baseball was great.
Even, again, on the field, absolutely. It is a minor league feel, or at least you were looking at semi-pro athletes. Now, they are not getting paid by this. Again, they're still college athletes, whether it is they are freshmen, sophomore, juniors.
And they have host families.
Yeah, they have host families as well, too. So something that we saw, for instance, like with the Cheyenne Stampede, with hockey here in town. Again, host families throughout all these teams throughout this area. It is a phenomenal outfit and a phenomenal product that is being put on there. And again, not just with Western Nebraska, not with the Casper Horseheads, but throughout this Expedition League. It is all kind of high-class, high-tier baseball being played right now, and they know what they're doing. And it's just a shame, and something that we've talked, whether it is with Chunk or throughout this Expedition League, it's a shame that Cheyenne does not have something like this.
And now, again, we're going to beat a dead horse. I just want you to understand this.
We've talked with the owner of the league. We've talked with those entities, and the issue is that they need a stadium-style ballpark, like, for instance, there at Gering, where they had, assigned seating, so to speak, to sell tickets, where, again, it is a section, it is a row.
Like season ticket holders, basically. The box seats, so to speak. That's pretty much for the season ticket holders.
Yeah,
and they've got those sold out,
which is fair. Again, you want those commitments, because obviously, again, they're not in the business to lose money on this, and I wouldn't doubt that they're putting some sort of percentage back to the city of Gering, to back to the city of Casper up there with using Mike Lancy Field. There's those options, but going to this game, it had that minor league feel. It was, hey, half inning. Hey, we'll do a newspaper toss that had a little coupon, whatever.
Yeah,
wherever
the one was they threw out a roll of toilet paper. Matter of fact, the lady in front of us caught the roll, and there was as I heard her say, it was $100 coupon to something. I couldn't really remember what she said. But again, you got a lot of companies that back the local people.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a local team. It's for the local
one
community.
of the big sponsors up there, of course, in Scottsbluff, and as well as they are here, Platte Valley Bank, big sponsor up there. And I think he said Viero was also another big corporate sponsor. So, again, sponsorships are very important, like you see, for the baseball here on the local side.
But also, too, again, with those sponsorships, you did see, again, it was a near sellout there for a Sunday mid-afternoon game there in Gering, Nebraska, to come out and watch his team. Now, it does help that Western Nebraska is still atop the Expedition League. They are your defending 2018 Expedition League champions, so that does help a bit to get fans out to that ballpark. But it is something where it's something that we've talked about many a time, and now getting that reassurance being out there at Oregon Trail Park, it is a minor league game. It feels like you're seeing a AAA ball club there in your local town.
Well, and here's the point we're going to kind of throw out here, and I challenge the city of Cheyenne. I challenge the leadership of Cheyenne, and I know that some are listening to this program. I challenge you to go out to one of those games. Now, the second part of this, Powers Field will not be.
They've already said Powers does not.
Powers Field will not make it.
Because, again, you need what they are looking for is a stadium that has stadium-style seats.
But we also have another field possibility in that same area where Powers Field is at. Across the street, when they came to town, Menards, they basically said, hey, we want to give this back to the city. This was under the Mayor Kaysen regime, and there's some city council members that are still with the council that know exactly what I'm talking about. And that was supposed to be used to build that second ballpark, which they haven't done.
Yeah.
So I challenge.
Well, I doubt it's going to happen under this regime. Regime right now that's in place for the city council is it seeming like they're very anti-athletics.
Maybe the only thing athletic about them is their feet. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my point is, I challenge this city council. I challenge this leader of our city, the mayor. I challenge your recreation director, whoever it is, to get their butts out and go over to Scottsbluff, find out, to Garing, find out when they have their next game and see what real life is about
and look
in
at
the summer.
And again, for the city as well, too, it's more so of a situation of look at the revenue that this could bring in. It's similar of what we saw, again, the infamous article, the infamous quotes by one mayor or saying, hey, the Cheyenne Stampede don't make us revenue. Well, that turned out to be a complete
falsehood.
Again, an absolute lie on
falsehood.
Her. Well, again, I'm going to call it what it is. It was her lying, at least to the folks, again, here in the city of Cheyenne. But, again, you look at what is happening with this Expedition League where, again, it has this minor league style. Again, fans are out there supporting it. It does have the sponsorships. And again, it is using these ballpark. And it's something for folks to get out and do something during the summertime. And just imagine what kind of kickbacks that could be towards the city. If that is the hang-up, again, imagine what the revenue coming into town, whether it is these teams, like, for instance, Wheat City, they got to find a place to stay for the weekend series or the weekday
whatever
series.
The team hotel is over
any of
there.
those teams. Again, the closest team right now in the Expedition League to here, Cheyenne, is Garing, and that's 100 miles away.
And here's the second part of this, and we have the old Cheyenne Grizzlies jersey here when that was part of the Mountain Collegiate Baseball League. And I always will tip my cap to one Ron Cayley, who had the guts to get this team off and running. Again, same thing, college players, and again they also had to have host families.
The only issue with the Grizzlies in that, at least that league, was it seemed like it didn't do its research like we're seeing right now with the Expedition League.
Yeah, but also too, there was only 4 teams at that time.
Where I think right now with the Expedition League, you got about 10 with 2 more being added,
but
and
also
that's Gillette and Rapid City.
And the only park that he really could play at was Pioneer, which at that time was not in good shape.
It was terrible.
They did get to share Powers for a little bit, and then the city finally did some restoration of Pioneer Park. But again, it was bleacher seating.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have a good seat, you brought your own.
Yeah.
And again, here's what the prices were yesterday too. Adults $9 for the box seats.
I thought it was $7.
$7 for the general admission, $5 for the kids. That's what the cost was.
Again, you're looking at maybe, for a Mustangs game, for a Post-6 game, at the gate, I do believe about $5 for both, for day of tickets. Season tickets, obviously, that's going to be a little bit more, but, again, $4 more to see a minor league style contest where, again, they have all fun. It is a family atmosphere. It is family fun. Again, activities like, for instance, where they had, kids running the bases for a little prize, or they had, families going out there doing trivia for a prize, whether it was by some corporate sponsor or whoever was putting up some benefit. Again, it is family fun. It is like seeing a minor league game.
And again, too, we kind of gave up on the Stampede, where the city just didn't want to foot any more bills.
The city didn't want to support it.
And here's the second part of it. if you think that this is nothing important and all you care about are the 10 days here in July, then so be it. I know this Expedition League wants to move south.
Yeah.
And what better place to stop here at the I-80, I-25 corridor, which opens up some Colorado markets as well.
Yeah.
But again, will we support it? It depends.
I'd like to hope so.
The promotion part was good.
I mean, Casper, for whatever reason, shows support up there.
Well, and the thing we showed, that I showed you yesterday, where we were sitting at the box seats, I said, here's one of the sponsors. There's a bank president that was out there with his wife watching the game. They weren't there because they had to be there. They're there because they're season ticket holders.
Yeah.
And they like the product. We saw every walk of life out there. Matter of fact, the people that sat behind us, matter of fact, the one guy said I was in his chair because they were season ticket holders. They accidentally printed up 2 tickets with the same seat.
Yeah.
But he didn't care. He moved back 1 seat. And they knew everything about this team. They knew all of the players. They were having a great time there. They went down, got food. It was like being at a real baseball game. And that's what the whole atmosphere was, real baseball. And the product was excellent. So, again, I challenge the city of Cheyenne. If you want to be behind the times and you still want to be Cowboys and Indians, great, terrific. You are missing the ball. And I mean you are whiffing at every opportunity to do things right. And, again, I will say this one more time. Ron Catley, you have my respect, pal. What you did, and you tried. And you tried to make the product, but you weren't given all of the proper tools from this city.
Yeah.
Now,
which is no surprise.
Now
Again,
we have the opportunity. Menards made an offer to the city to do their thing here.
Well, who knows what behind the doors deal canceled that out or something.
And again, I know what the money was. I was at that city council meeting. I know what monies were being thrown around.
Yeah.
I know a couple of members of the city council still there. And you guys said, oh, yeah, we definitely want you to be here, and we'll do this for you.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, you do this, we'll do that. That secondary baseball field should have been built. It's not built, and you need to build it. And you need to showcase it as well to the Expedition League because you're not going to get a second opportunity. You've let minor league baseball go bye-bye. That's fine. This is collegiate baseball. And, again, these are young men that are hard workers for the community, even up there in Gering.
Yeah.
So
again, doing community service, getting out there, again, being a part of, for instance, what we're seeing with LCCC, what you saw with the Cheyenne Stampede, doing that community service, getting their names out there so they can familiarize with those local folks, so those local folks can cheer on and know them by heart, like we saw with a lot of fans out there in Gering. Again, a ballpark that we got, again, that was footed by the city of Gering, again, $2 million. I think as we're tossing around random monies to random projects here in town, I think $2 million, and also too maybe going towards that corporate entity that is Menards, I don't think that should be a big issue.
Well, and here's the second part of this too. Again, not just Gering folks, not just Scottsbluff folks showed up. There are folks that came as far as Sydney, Alliance, Kimball. Again, this is a truly Western Nebraska franchise. Okay, if we happen to get a group that would come together here in Cheyenne, build that ballpark. Again, this would be a Laramie County team. And who knows? Who knows
if you want to make it a Laramie County team, maybe you put that at the Archer complex where we're building everything else. Again, keeping the city's hands off of it.
I don't care where you build it.
I think that'd probably be the best thing. Again, don't let the city touch anything because we saw what happened, or at least we're seeing right now with the Ice at Event Center of how much that is becoming an absolute dump
Albatross?
now. Yeah, again, right now, I think it's something where maybe it is up to Laramie County and maybe out at that Archer complex to just make it that one big event or one big, one stop and go for all.
Don't laugh when I say this, or don't go, oh. Hey, build it, and they will come. It's a simple drill. Give them the facility. They'll bring the product. They will bring a good product.
This is a league that is expanding day in and day out.
And they will take care of all that needs to be taken care of. You got people that are highly invested in the Expedition League. And you're right. We saw the teams where they're playing at. South Dakota, Nebraska. They are now in Canada, and they're in Wyoming, Gillette, and Casper.
Well, also, too, again, North Dakota as well, too. Again, this is throughout kind of the Front Range and if not the High Plains and here in the Midwest where you're seeing these teams. It is something that is phenomenal what they're doing. Right now, again, 10 teams in total for the Expedition League as you look. Again, split up into two different divisions, Lewis and Clark division. Again, you got cities like Dickinson, North Dakota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, Pierre, South Dakota, Minot, North Dakota, up in Casper with the Casper Horseheads, Hastings, Nebraska, Spearfish, South Dakota, Gary, Nebraska, and again, the expansion teams of Fremont, Nebraska with the Fremont Moo, Wheat City Whiskey Jacks out of Brandon, Manitoba, Canada, and then also, too, right now, as they're looking possible future teams heading into next season, one was announced, and that was the Rapid City team, but there is possibility talks have been already in the work, and I do believe they're working to get this officialized. Gillette. Also, too, and I'll name off a few other cities.
Gillette is in.
Yeah, Gillette, at least as I'm reading, it looks like Gillette is in. Rapid City is confirmed. They're looking to expand to Grand Forks, North Dakota, Kearney, Nebraska, and Williston, North Dakota. So,
and here's the thing. If Gillette and Casper are part of this,
and this is year 2 of the Expedition League as well, too, that we're in right now.
But this is what gets me. If again, Gillette and Casper are part of it, and we're the GD capital city of Wyoming, and we don't even give this thing a second look, we're nuts. We are definitely nuts. And I'm sorry, you and me are big baseball fans, and that's great. And we love the Mustangs, and we love Post 6. But doggone it, do you think other people would like to see the Expedition League come to our town?
No.
I guess not, because nobody
like I said,
in this city even cares.
Read between the lines of what revenue it brings to this town and what opportunities it would bring. Again, whether it is bringing in these other teams, bringing in these collegiate players to this town, again, it opens up big possibilities.
We only care about 10 days. That's all we care about, revenue for 10 days in this city. That's it. We got to take a time out, and we will be back with hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Welcome to hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine at its best 7 days a week. First Tier Bank is directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Tim and the great staff invite you to come on by, check out their special CD rates now on a 27-month CD. We also want to thank Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Again, founded by Dick Lennox, tradition carried on by his daughter Heather. 25 years they have been taking care of vehicles in our community, and we're glad that they do. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Auto Body Shop, Dunn Avenue. Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, longtime friends of ours on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Where Rick and the gang invite you to come to the original location on Vanda High and see them on the east side location at the corner of College and Pershing. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. My good friend AJ, Greg, and the entire crew invite you to come on by, take a test drive in the 2019s. They need to move them on out. Yes, I know it's only July, but 2020 will be here before you know it. So again, find some great deals going on right now at Kia of Cheyenne from the Kia family of vehicles. Chick-fil-A. At the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powers Field and Menards.
Ray and Cindy invite you to come on by, checking them out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they got 2 convenient drive-thrus. They're open Monday through Saturday. Big on the list right now, and I'm hearing good things about the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. A must try. It's got bacon on it. You got to get it. And also, too, they have, for a limited time, their Strawberry Passion Tea Lemonade to wash that down. Get some waffle fries. You are good to go over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. We also want to say thank you to Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, Highway 30, where they've been at for many, many moons now. And again, they are your exclusive Jayco dealer, where you'll find Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, even the Jayco Special of the Week. All for you over at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Also, we want to thank Taco John's with a plethora of locations here in Cheyenne, rebuilding the South Greeley Highway location. So check out the Taco John's food truck, usually hanging out there in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot, so you can get your feast of Taco John's goodies all the time. Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway. It's scoreboard time with Nick, and it's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yeah, because you don't have much, but from this past weekend for Cheyenne Extreme with softball, and eventually we'll get to baseball, but with the Extreme down in Florida, competing at the Space Coast World Series down there in Florida. As we mentioned, again, getting at least past pool play, being the number 1 seed out of the B, at least bracket. Unfortunately, that first play-in of the tournament was a fortunate loss for Cheyenne Extreme, losing 5-3 against the Hickory Lady Hornets out of Maryland. Moving down to the losers bracket with that loss for Cheyenne Extreme, they took on the QC Firebirds USA, a team out of Illinois. Unfortunately, they lost that game as well, 5-1. So their tournament came to an end pretty early this past weekend on Friday. Again, with those 2 losses there on Thursday and Friday. So with all that being said, Cheyenne Extreme stand at 37-11-3 overall. For the Cheyenne Mustangs, they were in action down in Colorado, competing down in that tournament. A lot of action for them. Thursday, 2 games where they saw a 5-3 victory. Game 2, a 2-0 loss for the Mustangs. Friday's lone contest was a 10-0 shutout against the USA Prime team. Saturday, 2 contests, 1 loss against the Colorado Yard Dogs, 6-1. However, the second game of Saturday, they won 19-3 over the Rough Riders. So with that being said, Cheyenne Mustangs going 3-2 this past weekend. They are 18-19 overall. And last but not least, for the Cheyenne Post 6 Sixers, as we mentioned with the Firecracker tournament here in town. Thursday, 12-4 victory for Cheyenne Post 6. Friday, 2 contests. First game was a loss 10-6 against the Lightning Gold team. Also, too, Friday was another loss 4-1 against the Casper Oilers. And then how about this? Saturday and Sunday, 3 games in total. All 3 of them were victories against Fort Collins, Triple Crown, Colorado, and the Lightning Gold team. With that being said, 4 games, at least 4 wins, 2 losses for Cheyenne Post 6 here in town. With that, they are 39-17 overall.
And if you're on another planet and you missed out yesterday, the United States women's national team beat the Netherlands 2-0 to win its 2nd straight World Cup title, marking
4 in total. 4 in total.
Marking only the 2nd team to repeat as champions after Germany did it back in 2003 and 2007. So the Yanks win 2-0 yesterday. Rockies lose to the Diamondbacks' 3rd straight loss as they limp into the All-Star break. We'll talk more about baseball and all the happenings. And, of course, now it's time to start thinking trades as we are at the All-Star break. Home run hitting contest on tap for tonight. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
representing his nephew, Ty, so we thank him so much, pitching coach Jade Lain. Also want to thank Andrew Johnson, who joined us. We appreciate him. He's going to be a junior over at Cheyenne Central as he represented the guys from Post 6 today. Today in our program, it's a little bit baseball because, we're at the All-Star break, but also, too, we've had a chance to talk younger baseball, Expedition League. We have more on the CABA tournament. We also want to let you know this hour we're going to say congratulations to a gentleman who's going to be part of the WCA. That's the Wyoming Coaches Association
and
Hall of Fame.
Hopefully we'll be able to talk with him about this as well, too, as we'll see him tomorrow at a special, at least, function here in town. So hopefully we'll be able to get him as it is kind of LCCC themed week so far, at least here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. So he would just be an added bonus.
And mention on upcoming on the program this week too, because I think you've already. Well,
I already talked about it. We talked about it last week. Also, too, posted on our social media sides, whether it is on Twitter, where you can find me at Nick Wyo Sports, NickWyoSports, and also to our Facebook page, where we ask you to like and follow over there, where, again, it is facebook.com/WyoSportsTalk, or simply just search for Wyoming Sports Talk today. I did post, at least coming up, again, big shows, at least here at the tail end of the week, or at least, just tune in every day this week, as again we'll have guests throughout this week. But Thursday and Friday, with the big decision, as I'm calling it, as we are again, as folks have been bringing up the LeBron decision that happened also too on this date, but the LCCC decision that happened a few weeks ago, we will get more in-depth, more analysis, more, we'll hear from the actual sides of the story with this decision over there. Thursday at 3 o'clock, we will have in studio Dr. Sydney Henning. She will be with us. She is the new interim AD at LCCC, again, under a 3-year term. So we will talk with her on Thursday, 3 o'clock here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. So looking forward to that. And then Friday, 4 o'clock here in studio as well, too, we will have President Dr. Joe Schaefer, who will talk about his decision, why he made that decision, and also to talk more about his outlook, or at least his direction for LCCC athletics in general. So, again, big shows coming up Thursday and Friday. Tune in for that as we get more, at least more of their side of the story from LCCC on this recent decision about the athletic director role there at LCCC.
All right, let's get back to baseball, as we had Post 6 in here today talking about the weekend that was, the Firecracker Tournament. And, of course, I guess as the other entity has stepped aside, Post 6 decided to carry the torch, as they will be...
Yeah, basically Post 6 kind of
kicked the host team, I guess.
Yeah, Post 6 basically kicked Steve Avila, kicked him aside and said, hey, we'll just take care of it. We're not going to rely on you. We'll just do it.
Yeah, but he's still making his money, though.
Well, yeah, again, that $50,000 is his, and, it is what it is at this point in time. But with the CABA World Series coming up again, it starts Tuesday here in town. We'll utilize both fields, whether it is Powers and Pioneer Park. So there is that. 14 teams in total, I think about the same of what we had last year. What we got information from Jade, and thank you to him of giving us a little update. Only 4 Legion teams competing in this tournament. The rest are at least the 10 others. Going to be a mixture of at least majority Connie Mack teams. So interesting, obviously with this CABA World Series, it is about the Connie Mack teams. Those Connie Mack teams, if they are to win the tournament, like for instance the California team, they get the automatic at least bid and berth into the at least Connie Mack World Series in Farmington, New Mexico. So there is that. Looking at a few teams, just looking a lot of Wyoming representation, obviously with Post 6, but you are going to see the Casper Crush, Connie Mack team, little at least outfit, formidable, a known opponent for the Cheyenne Mustangs. Okay. Whatever. Again, I have to carry the show like always.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't see you talking.
No, you always give me grief. No, here's you. You're almost like this. So I can do the ad-libbing. You can't.
But yours, when you talk as well.
Hey, you need script, pal. Go ahead.
Anyway. I don't need a script at all. So just back off. But again, Casper Crush, they'll be in town. Also, too, you will see the Gillette Rough Riders as well. Laramie Rangers, the infamous Laramie Rangers team, will be here. Other entities, you will see a few Colorado teams, whether it is the Pueblo Azteca team. On top of that, the Catalyst Cardinals, who we just saw a few weeks ago here in town, taking on Post 6. So they'll be here. Colorado Roughnecks, both their 17U and 18U team will be here. And then the Rocky Mountain Lobos as well on top of that. Outside, we will have one New Mexico team, the Albuquerque Baseball Academy 18s. They will be here. Looks like two Washington State teams, the Enfuego out of Washington and also two Mudville Baseball. And then on top of that, one Montana team, the Outlaw Baseball Club out of Montana. And then last but not least, Arizona representation with the Rocky Mountain Oysters team, who was here last year as well, competing in this CABA World Series. So that's how it stands right now. Still got those outreach of teams. What, from our understanding with these teams that are competing in the CABA World Series, it was something that Post 6 and also to one Ty Lain had to do their research, his research, and basically get them here a part of this tournament. So that's why we see a lot of familiar names, a lot of local, at least it's very jam-packed with a lot of local talent, local teams. So that is how it stands. There are two pools, Pool A and Pool B. Post 6 will compete in the Pool A side of things, where they will see the likes of Gillette, Laramie, Pueblo Azteca, the Enfuego, the Roughnecks, the 17s, and the Rocky Mountain Oysters. Pool B will consist of only Connie Mack teams, as it was last year, where, for instance, again, Cheyenne Mustangs were competing in that. So, but it will utilize both fields, Powers and Pioneer Park, on all 5 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and again the championship game happening on Sunday. So a lot of busy action, a lot of busy baseball happening here in town. Looking forward to it. Again, it was a fun tournament. It was a tournament that just seemed like, again, under the direction of one Steve Avila. It was partially.
It was flubbed a
yeah,
little bit.
It was not the greatest setup thing, but here we are in year 3, so to speak, of the CABA tournament.
Maybe they might get it right this year.
Yeah, we'll see. Granted, again, Steve Avila has nothing to do with this other than just making money and just sitting up there in Washington watching idly by. Instead, Post 6 has graciously, or at least they've taken the opportunity and the time that they will just basically oversee any gate fees or anything. They will be taking care of this tournament.
And also, too, if I'm not mistaken, I think the team from Washington State, the two teams out of
Washington were Steve Avila.
Those are the ones that Steve Avila brought down. But only 14 teams in this tournament. So that's all. I mean, last year I think we had, 18?
Yeah.
So we got 14 teams, so it's less teams.
Condensed down, yeah.
And again, Post 6 will take the reins, and they will run it, the gates. And also, too, one of the nice things that Jade mentioned is that it benefits the city of Cheyenne simply for the fact that Post 6 will be playing the later games.
Yeah.
So you can actually do the work thing, head on over to Powersfield, and catch Post 6 in action.
Yeah, certainly is. Again, Tuesday coming up tomorrow at Powersfield, 7:30. Cheyenne Post 6 will take on Pueblo Azteca. Looking at a few other games for Wednesday for Cheyenne Post 6. They will have a doubleheader back-to-back 5 and 7:30 on Wednesday at Powersfield. They will take in Game 1, take on the Roughnecks 17s team. And then Game 2 on Wednesday, they will be taking on the Gillette Rough Riders. Thursday, looking at where Cheyenne Post 6 will be at. Again, they'll compete at Powersfield. 7:30, they will be taking on the Enfuego team. And then looking at Friday for Cheyenne Post 6 again, as they will compete in the 7:30 contest. Once again on Friday, they will host the Laramie Rangers on Friday. And looking at least forward, 7:30 Saturday, they will last but not least be taking on the Rocky Mountain Oyster team. So obviously pool play, getting to see everyone in their pool. So a little in-state action, a little at least conference action, almost kind of good setup for Cheyenne Post 6, having Laramie, having Gillette in to kind of get them prepared, so to speak, as state tournament is also too on their eye and happening very quickly after this CABA tournament.
We do need to take a timeout, and when we come back, we will have more of Wyoming Sports Talk today right here in 1480 KRAE.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Introducing Digital Wallet, a new way to pay with Platte Valley Bank. Add your Platte Valley Bank debit card to Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay, and have the ability to make purchases with just your phone. It's secure, simple, and accepted by millions of merchants worldwide. Try it today or check out pbbank.com for more information.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480krae.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, it's going to be partly sunny. Expected daytime high of 79 with a chance for showers and afternoon thunderboomers. For tonight, partly cloudy or low down to 53 degrees. Tuesday's forecast, sunshine. We're calling for a daytime high of 81 with a chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, a low down to 51. Wednesday's forecast continues sunny. We're looking for a daytime high near 80.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
And we're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. You know, I look back on last season where I had a chance to, chat with Jim Schaefer when he was elected to the Wyoming Coaches Association Hall of Fame, South High former basketball coach. And
former head coach at South, former assistant at Central, and now head coach at Laramie. With the boys basketball
But
squad.
anyway, it was nice to read yesterday that, and again, he has been, I guess, a media fixture here a little bit. He didn't want to be in the limelight, but he was. Jim Gardner. We want to extend our congratulations to Jim Gardner, who will be also entering that prestigious Hall of Fame for the Wyoming Coaches Association. And again, this is going to be on the merits of what he did at Cheyenne East.
Yeah, again, it is nothing to do with what he's done at LCCC. Obviously, he'll get that recognition, and he's gotten that recognition on the NJCAA, at least side of things, for what he's done with the women's soccer program there for the Lady Golden Eagles. But again, for those years of what he did. 28 years for Cheyenne East girls soccer.
This is a hell of a resume.
Well, yeah, again, finishing at least runner-up 7 times, won 6 conference titles, 5 regional crowns, 56. He ended up coaching 56 first-team All-State players, 53 second-team All-State players, and 7 Gatorade Player of the Years. And again, in 28 years of being the head coach there at Cheyenne East, being a part of that girls soccer squad. He was also named the Coach of the Year 7 times and was the Wyoming All-Star Coach 3 times. And how about this? Finished at least with his time last year, his final year again, as Rebecca Valdez took over this season at Cheyenne East. He finishes with an overall record of 290 wins, 110 losses, and only 34 ties. So well above 500. Phenomenal outfit. 9 state championships in his at least 28 years for Cheyenne East. So a guy who clearly deserves to be at least in the Wyoming Coaches Association Hall of Fame.
So if I break that down and I round up on numbers, his average record was 11 wins, 4 losses, and a tie during his 28 years.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's gonna. You're going to do pretty good in the coaching ranks. So you're going to probably be holding on to that position for quite a while. So, again.
Well, and think about it as well, too, for Jim, where he is in that interesting and special position, or at least back in the day, looking back to a couple of years ago, where he was head coach of both LCCC, where they play their at least soccer schedule in the fall, and then he transfers over to Cheyenne East, where they play in the springtime, or at least hopefully they can. We saw what happened this year with the snow, but for Jim, he's in an interesting position back in the day where, he's able to develop all these young athletes. He's also, I wouldn't doubt at that point, scouting across the state, if not scouting his own team, developing his own team to eventually move them on next door, or at least across town to LCCC to play soccer for him. Well, where, again, you're with any high school coaches, whoever we have talked to, basketball, football, soccer, wrestling, it don't matter. The end goal is to advance these student athletes to the next level in some athletic way. And again, he's in that interesting special position where he's developing phenomenal athletes. Again, 56 first-team athletes throughout the 28 years. Again, as we look, 7 Gatorade Players of the Year.
Yeah, but think about this too. Same thing like Jade Lain. How many second-generation kids did he have go through his program?
I mean, that's going to happen. Hey,
I know, but I'm just saying.
28 years, that's going to happen.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, look at that. You how many young ladies have passed through that program under his direction? And again, too, you have.
I don't think that's the second. I don't think that's a thing on his mind. I don't think he really cares.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, it's like, I had your mom, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever the case might be, come through the program.
I'm just saying, though, with Jim, though, he's in that interesting position where he is not also an ambassador for the high school ranks for girls soccer, but also having that opportunity, that special place where, again, a winning program at LCCC as well, too, on the national side, taking them to the national tournament. Obviously, national championship has eluded them, but they've gotten close many a time. But to scout, be a part of Cheyenne East, be a part of the Class 4A, scouting throughout the state of Wyoming, and maybe even looking down to the lower classes, but he's that unique head coach doing well at Cheyenne East, but also, looking at the local talent to move on to the next level.
Well, and again, also, where you didn't finish up, Gardner also received several national accolades. He was the National Federation of Interscholastic Coaches Association National Coach of the Year, 1997, and again in 2000. He was the NHSA-CA Region Coach of the Year, 2010, 2012, 2016. He was the NHSA-CA National Coach of the Year for 2016. Gardner won United States Coaches Regional Coach of the Year, 2012 and 16, and was their National Coach of the Year in 2016. That's paragraph 2 of 3 of the awards. He's also served as an assistant wrestling coach at Cheyenne East for 22 years. He has been the head women's coach at LCCC for the last 18 years here in Cheyenne.
And this will be the final year for Jim there at LCCC.
In addition, Gardner's been involved with the Cheyenne Sting Soccer Club, was an assistant boys soccer coach at Cheyenne Central High School. Gardner began teaching and coaching here in the Cap City
Back in 1983, he taught elementary physical education for 34 years and coached multiple sports for 35. Been rather busy in his life here in Cheyenne, and a lot of youngsters that had the opportunity to play for Jim Gardner are a lot better student athletes because of him.
Yeah, and I at least with the Hall of Fame induction will happen, I do believe, coming up at least July 19th. I do believe so. He is, along with a few other names, being at least inducted in the Wyoming Coaches Association Hall of Fame this year for 2019. Along with Jim Gardner, also too will be joined by Dick Edgecombe. He is at least introduced the sport of soccer to the community of Buffalo in 1979 and started what is now the Johnson County Soccer Association. So a little background for him, for Dick Edgecombe. Also to Tom Siemens out of Green River.
I know Tom. I know him as a coach. So
yeah, so at least doing phenomenal things. Head wrestling coach for the Green River Wolves between 1986 and 1999. After at least times, at least for Tom, moved up to Gillette and took over the Camels program up there from 2001 to 2017 and got them to 13 consecutive state titles. Again, this is all happening at least on the wrestling side of things. So he'll be joining those other two entities. Then also, too, looking at Scott Schaefer.
Well, I was going to say, going back to Siemens, his team won 117 tournament titles in Wyoming, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Utah. Coached 347 state place winners. I mean, you talk about a great career alone, just in in the coaching profession. And again, think about this is the one thing too that we kind of forget about the high school coaches. Yes, they get X amount of dollars for doing this. It's part of that part-time work that you get. But a lot of these guys probably wouldn't have done it for a nickel. This is the love that they had for these sports that they were involved in. So, tip of cap to all of these Hall of Famers here that were announced.
And again, for instance, for Tom Siemens, whether it was at Green River or up in Gillette, at least with Campbell County High School, in addition to wrestling, Siemens assisted for football, wrestling, track and field, and cross country at Green River High School. Also, too, he was both an assistant and head coach, at least head golf coach up in Gillette.
And that's where I met him when he was with the football program with the Wolves when we used to have them in our league way back when. And then you have another name, looks very familiar, doesn't he?
Yeah.
One Scott Schaefer. So kind of keeping it in the family as he started coaching back in Cody in 1998. So he's been a head or assistant coach for cross country, indoor track, and outdoor track during his time. The Bronx and the Phillies have won 12 state titles, finished second 10 other times. He thanked the numerous assistant coaches, ADs, mentors, head coaches, and friends that were a part of it. So again, back-to-back Hall of Fames for the Schaefer family. So congratulations to them.
And then last but not least, with four, there's a fifth one, would be one Randy Adams, who moved to Torrington in 1973. He coached football, boys basketball, girls basketball, track and field, Little League baseball, and Babe Ruth baseball for over 38 years. Also, at least Randy also served on the Legion board. He even served as a referee for a few years. So again, at least you got five entities. Recapping again, Randy Adams up in Torrington of what he's done for the Wyoming Coaches Association, Scott Schaefer, Tom Siemens, Jim Gardner here, Cheyenne product, or at least with Cheyenne East, with his recognition, and also to Dick Edgecombe, who's at least up in Buffalo, Wyoming. So those are your five Hall of Famers in the Wyoming Coaches Association. Again, I think to be inducted coming up here in about 11 days. July 19th, I do believe, is when that induction ceremony will be happening for those five gentlemen.
And again, you look at the resumes of those five guys, and a great job by the Wyoming Coaches Association to add these five members.
Well, again, you look at it, 28 years for Jim. You look at it for Dick Edgecombe, 38 years. You look at Tom Siemens, 31 years. Again, these are guys who spent quite some time, whether it is in one city, for instance, with Jim, with Dick, with Tom, he split time between, Green River and Gillette. But, these are entities that spend a lot of time developing student athletes and also, too, building up winning programs as well, too, whether it was in here in town, Cheyenne East, Green River, Campbell County, up in Cody, Torrington as well too. Again, they are definitely deserving of what they are getting recognized for, and also too, again, you can't acknowledge enough of how many decades that they spent, putting their heart, their mind and soul into this and helping out these programs and developing, student athletes.
They do it more as a love than they do, like I said, for the paycheck, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, we do need to take a time out, and when we come back, it's more baseball to talk about. We are at the All-Star break. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly. And then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We'll work hard for your business, and we'll work just as hard to keep it. I'm A.J. Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and you need to see the new 2019 Kia Sportage today. The 2019 Kia Sportage offers numerous options and advanced driving features that help you know who is around you and how best to stay in control. Kia Sportage offers many standard features for the money. Some of the competition does not. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Okay, good day in the weight room, boys. Remember, we lift weights for strength. For cardio, we lift weights faster. Wachowski, quit looking at your stomach, son. What you're looking for ain't there. If you want a six-pack, the easiest way to get one is at Taco John's.
Stop in for a six-pack and a pound at Taco John's. Get 6 crispy beef tacos and a pound of potato olays, all for $10.99.
Let's Olay the day and go get one right now. Last one there has to pick up Mrs. Coach from jiu-jitsu class.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, it's going to be partly sunny. Expected daytime high of 79 with a chance for showers and afternoon thunderboomers. For tonight, partly cloudy or low down to 53 degrees. Tuesday's forecast, sunshine. We're calling for a daytime high of 81 with a chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low down to 51. Wednesday's forecast continues sunny. We're looking for a daytime high near 80.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today, and thank you so much for joining us, Larry Perotti, along with Nick Perotti. Well, we're at the All-Star break, and, a couple of teams in the West, actually about 3 teams in the West are going, gosh, I wish it wouldn't have come. A, the Diamondbacks after their sweep of the Rockies.
Yep.
B, the Padres after what they did to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And C, the Giants in their last 10 games are 7-3. However,
And the Giants have been, at least 7-3 have been against West teams, so they've been kind of beating up on the San Diego's, Arizona's of the world.
They also did very well against the Cardinals, no less.
Yeah.
But the tough one here, if they are still looking to unload Mad Bum,
which is, again, all indications are showing that it is guaranteed.
Well, he took a shot off the elbow.
Yeah.
But I'm looking.
He exited out of that game. What, second inning, third?
He tried to start in the third. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But it looks like here, according to Kerry Crowley of the San Jose Mercury News, it looks like Bumgarner is scheduled to start Saturday's game at Milwaukee. So he's listed as day-to-day, and he should be back. So if anybody is looking at taking over the contract of one Mad Bum, a pitcher for hire, maybe the Giants will be listening. So,
but again, as we are at All-Star break, 3 teams in the West doing very well, or at least they were trending upwards, and the break came at a wrong time. For the Dodgers, again, they're comfortable. Losing 3, guess what?
They're 13.5.
They're well ahead of any other team, and they're still locked down. No need to be worried. The only thing for L.A., for the Dodgers, the only scary thing is they're 23-20 on the road, so just barely above 500. So for them, obviously, you want to work on that road record. But, the Colorado Rockies, they have fallen from grace. We're anticipated this. They've been here in this position before. They are 14.5 games behind the Dodgers, a half game behind San Diego, full game behind the Arizona Diamondbacks. So that puts them 4th in the NL West. They are 3 games above the San Francisco Giants, but the Rockies as well, too. They are sub 500 as they sit 44-45.
And the series against the Diamondbacks was really disappointing, just that they laid an egg. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they were just awful. And again, you could throw Greinke at them and everybody else, but the Rockies just did not play well.
The Rockies haven't been playing well for a long time. They're on a 6-game losing streak.
They went back to old habits I saw. And I think it was against Greinke on Friday night. And the bad habits were, again, to Greinke's credit, he's a masterful pitcher. I will give him that. But the Rockies spent more time watching fastballs go right down the pipe. And whether they were guessing wrong, I don't know. But, boy, the scouting report they got on Greinke, and they faced him numerous times, boy, the Rockies just did not look. He made them look
Zach
stupid.
Greinke is not. He is still the ace of Arizona. He's still a good pitcher. He's not what he was back in the day. Like, for instance, when he was at Kansas City, he was not that, big time
Even
name.
with the Dodgers at one time.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think Zach still puts out some good, good gas. He is still a good pitcher for Arizona. He does well. So, not to sell him short, but 6-game losing streak right now for the Colorado Rockies. This is nothing new. This is a team that has gone through this roller coaster ride throughout this season. Again, I don't believe that the Rockies are going to be a contender for, at least for a wild card spot. This is going to be a tough go for them throughout this season to get in and sneak into that wild card and have a postseason opportunity. Because, again, there's no one catching the LA Dodgers in the NL West. They are not slowing down at any point in time.
And no one's going to argue that, Nick. But let's go back and look at the Rocks here, because, again, they would be the team you would look to at least have the first wild card. They get shut out on Friday night, 8-0. I mean, they literally laid an egg by going to Chase. Sensatella,
I don't know, literally, but all right.
I mean, didn't throw well as they get beat 8-0 on Friday night. Then they're back there on Saturday, and I felt bad for John Gray. I thought he threw well, but Ray threw just a little bit better. Again, they score no runs on Friday. They come back with a whopping 2 on Saturday, and then you look
the Rockies are terrible against the NL West. That's what it proves to me, is that the Rockies have struggles, and we saw that in series, even with the San Francisco Giants, where you should have no business losing a series to the Giants. But you do.
They scored 5 runs the entire series. They lose yesterday 5-3.
And I think that's
4 hits.
I think this is what's going to cost the Rockies a chance of the postseason, is they can't get it done against the NL West. Whether it is from top to bottom, they struggle. They have an awful record against the NL West. Whether it is San Diego, Arizona, San Francisco.
San Francisco's been a nemesis to them.
And the LA Dodgers. And I think that's going to be the Achilles heel on top of everything else that is with this Rockies team, and what's preventing them from getting that wild card spot, especially where you look at the Central of how things are going. You even look Now towards the NL East, Washington's making a push.
The Nationals, yeah, they're trending upward. Out of their last 10, they've won 8 of their last 10. So they are now, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, they would be the top wild card team.
Looking at the wild card standings right now in the National League, yes, Washington as it stands,
and Philly
again with Atlanta being at least in the top spot there in the NL East in a comfortable spot. Yes, Washington is like a half game above Philadelphia, who sits at 47 and 43. Washington is 47 and 42, so they played one less game than the Philadelphia Phillies. But those are your two entities. If the playoffs started today, it'd be Philly taking on Washington at Washington. Behind them, as you look, Milwaukee sits at a half game behind Philadelphia. Arizona's a game and a half. San Diego is 2. St. Louis is 2. Colorado is tied right now with the Pittsburgh Pirates at 2.5. And then right behind them were, you can't count them out. Cincinnati has been, we're trying to figure out what is up with this Reds team, but they are 4.5, 2 games behind Pittsburgh and Colorado. San Francisco, for whatever reason, is 5.5 behind. At least Philadelphia putting 3 games behind the Colorado.
Actually played themselves back into contention. If you look back at about a week and a half ago, the Giants were 12 games under 500.
It seems like with Colorado, where they struggle with the NL West, San Francisco does pretty well against their own division. We saw that with the series against Arizona. They do well against the Rockies. They do well against the LA Dodgers. They're not getting swept. They're not getting blown out in these series. They're doing well against their own in-division opponents, so that is what's keeping them in right now. Again, Giants are right now sitting on a 2-game winning streak. They were 7-3 of their last 10. They sit 41 and 48 overall, so well below, at least 7 games below 500.
And we don't know. Again, we're not soothsayers here. We don't know who's going to get unloaded. There's no rumors going around, to be honest.
But looking at the National League, though, if you want to even toss in the Mets, who are a 7-game out of, at least behind the Philadelphia Phillies, I mean, you got a lot of teams that are bunched up right now that have a shot for the NL wild card. And if the Colorado Rockies are going to play like this on this roller coaster of ups and downs that they've had throughout this season, this is not going to get it done. Clearly, as San Diego's going to take advantage, Arizona's taking advantage. Milwaukee's still a top-tier team in the NL Central. Who knows what you'll get out of the St. Louis Cardinals, who can be a threat. Pittsburgh, I'm not tossing aside. Cincinnati, it's a hard fringe, but who knows with the Reds. But, I mean, there's a massive pileup right now for a lot of teams fighting for 2 spots in the National League. And I think for the Colorado Rockies, what we're seeing right now is going to be their downfall on top of everything else with the bullpen issues, with the strikeouts. Right now for the Rockies, it is something I said months ago, and I still continue, and I'm not going to go against it. I don't see the Rockies making the postseason. It's going to be a tough route to get there.
This bumble and stumble into the All-Star break was not needed by the Rockies. It kind of really just it took the wind out of my sails. Again, scoring 5 runs the entire series, and again, they weren't hitting the ball well at all. They were more looky-loos than anything. Don't know why.
It don't matter. It don't matter if the Rockies are scoring 5 runs in a total series or they're scoring 45. Look what happened against that San Diego series down in Coors Field. Their endeavor between the Padres and the Rockies, where both teams were getting runs on the board, but the Rockies still found a way to lose those games. Still found a way to give up more runs to the Padres where we're having finals of 19-15 advantage San Diego in Denver, Colorado. It is right now for the Colorado Rockies. They got loads of issues. Right now, I think the break came at the best time for them to reevaluate and also to analyze of what their needs are. What do they need addressed right now to have a better second half, so to speak, and possibly get them into that wild card position, because that's what they have. That's the only shot the Rockies have at a postseason. And again, that goes for every NL West team outside of the Dodgers. To get to the postseason, your wild card is your only focus right now.
Now, going back to the Giants, as a matter of fact, I think you and me are going to see the Giants and the Rocks in that day-night twin bill here on Monday, next Monday, so we won't have a show. But I was also reading here on the injured list for the Giants. This goes back to June 22nd. He's still on the 60-day IL. Johnny Cueto, who's had the elbow surgery. Yep. He threw a 45-pitch bullpen session on Saturday. No pain, I mean, they're going to eventually get him back. Schmarza now is starting to pitch well.
Yeah.
Mad Bum, we'll see what happens here.
He's not majorly injured, so that's good. But
he got popped on the elbow.
Yeah, but it's not career ending or season ending or anything like that.
I guess the pitcher that's been really disappointing has been Rodriguez this year.
Yeah.
I expected bigger things from him. But, again, going back to the Giants, are they going to get into the wild card this year? No. Are they trying to send Bruce Bochy off on a positive note?
I hope so.
Try to get to the Mendoza line?
This team is still fighting.
Maybe they'll get to 81.
This team is not rolling over and dying. They are giving it their all, and I give credit to the Giants, but they're not postseason bound. This is a team that's going to sell. We have all indications that Mad Bum is not going to be a Giant anymore, and whoever else will be leaving that team is to be determined. But Giants are not going to be buyers. It is the question mark in the NL West of who will be buyers. Do the Dodgers just stand pat? Do they buy? Do the Rockies buy? I think they should. I think we're both in agreement that the Rockies should be buyers. On the bullpen side of things, they need to address pitching immediately. San Diego, will they be buyers? They're still in contention for the wild card.
I don't think they spent a lot of money in the offseason. The last couple of offseasons. I think they're going to kind of
Padres won't be sellers. Arizona won't be sellers. It is question mark between Arizona, San Diego, and Colorado. What teams will be buyers, or who will just stand pat and be happy with what they have and just kind of go the course?
And never sell off the Dodgers being buyers as well, too.
No, absolutely.
They got injuries right now as well. So as we look at the National League right now, Braves leading the East. At the break, it's the Cubs by a half game in the Central at the break, and the Dodgers just running away with the West right now. Over in the American League, we'll go first to the East, where the Yankees still comfortable, 6.5 games ahead. Tampa is not going anywhere. I tip my cap to the Rays. They are still hanging tough.
Yeah, but New York, again, falling at least 2 games short here. Again, they're on a 2-game losing streak heading into the break. They were 7-3 in their last 10. Yankees, I still award at least the AL East. They don't have that comfortable lead like the Dodgers where I go 100% yes, you're winning, but I still feel comfortable. Yankees are taking that crown. I don't foresee a surge by Boston. I don't foresee a surge by Tampa Bay to take over.
If they can just hold serve right now for the next 70 games, and then again, that would be probably winning 40 and losing 30. I think they're going to be the number 1 seed for the wild card.
Yeah.
Because right now, I don't see Cleveland. They might be that number 2 seed, but
they're on a 6-game winning streak at this point.
The team that's starting to surge, and they usually do at this time of year,
will
be Oakland.
You might want to say Cleveland as well. They are surging, where we kind of wrote them off of as being a joke in the AL Central. No, they're on a 6-game winning streak, so don't discount the Cleveland Indians. So they're still a threat out there.
And the Red Sox are the defending World Series champions.
They're not
out of it.
Boston, they took too much of a dive early in the season. They dug such a big hole that I don't see them coming out of it.
Unlike the Rockies, they're digging themselves out. They're 8 games above 500 right now. They're winning. And again, so you got Tampa, Boston, you got Cleveland, you got the A's, and you still, to a certain degree, have Texas. I always see Texas folding coming up after the All-Star break, so I see no reason why they won't fold. Watch out for the A's. They're starting to get all their pieces back right now, too.
Yeah, they're starting to get healthy, so the A's are still within it. Boston's only 2 games back behind Cleveland for that second spot. Texas is at 3, and then this is where it gets a little above and beyond. Angels 6.5, White Sox at 7. Seattle, the Mariners, where this is a big shock. They're 14 games out. They're well below 500.
But they're fire selling, though. They started the fire sale.
I thought the Mariners would be a completely different team. I had them as a wild card team. Seattle has been vastly disappointing this season. Toronto, they sit at 17.5 back of Cleveland, again, for that second wild card spot. Detroit at 20.5. Kansas City at 21.5. And how about the Baltimore Orioles, who are sitting at 23.5? How about they stand at the worst, at least game back of any division, at 30.5 behind the New York Yankees. So Baltimore, it is another banner year for the Orioles out there.
All right, so tonight, as we're at the All-Star break, as tradition, if I'm not mistaken, they do the celebrity softball tournament. But it is the
tournament. They just have a game.
Excuse me. Tonight it's the home run hitting derby. Kirsten Yelich out. I think he was
Injured.
replaced by Chapman with the A's.
Yeah.
So you got another big bat coming into tonight's home run hitting contest.
Am I invested in it? Again, is there anyone that I'm watching?
I like the Alonso guy. I'm from New York. Bellinger, obviously, when he participated in that a couple of years back, he can knock the snot out of the ball. I don't know who else.
Like I said, do I really care about tonight's home run derby? I'll watch a bit of it, but am I invested? Again, this is nothing against MLB. It's all-star weeks in just general. Whether it is from NHL, NBA, MLB, NFL with the Lain Pro Bowl, I just don't care. It is a breakaway where, hey, I get that the players need that rest in between the season. I understand it's fun for the fans out there in Cleveland or wherever these host sites are at. But as a fan of the sport, it's pretty much of, hey, let's just get through this. Don't care. Let's get on with the second half of the season already.
Which, of course, will not be back until Thursday or Friday. So,
but yeah, there is no big name at least competing where I go, all right, I got to watch him. Or
but the winner gets $1 million. So $1 million is $1 million. Let's see. Right now, if I look at, if I was to pick anybody, I would probably go with Bellinger tonight.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the easy route to go with that, and sure, I would agree. Again, I
mean Chapman.
I don't care.
Chapman could knock the snot out of the ball.
Yeah, but I give credit to Bellinger.
Yeah, but I'm like you. I'm not vested into this tonight. Will I probably flip over and catch maybe round 2, round 3? Yeah, maybe, but
Like I said, I think for All-Star, it's good for those cities that it's getting hosted in. It's fun for the fans there that are in attendance. But to watch on TV and be a part of it, whether it is the Home Run Derby, the All-Star game, sorry, it is not watchable TV. It's not fun anymore. It is just, it's there. Well, there's better things to do tonight.
Interesting point of tonight's home run hitting contest. Alonso, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Matt Chapman. Well, Alonso and Guerrero making the minimum salary right now, $555,000.
Vlad Jr. just came up. So
yeah, Chapman for the A's. You're working for Billy Bean. He's only making $580,000. Bell $587,000. How about the steal? Alex Bregman is making only $640,000 for Houston. Acuna $1 million. Jock Peterson hitting the $5 million mark. Carlos Santana is your heavy hitter who's making $17 million right now.
All right.
So just thought I'd throw out a little factoid out there for anybody that really cares.
But again, other than
me. No.
Yeah, but you got Bellinger, who's probably your big name. People should know at least Jock. There's not that Giancarlo in it where it would drag eyes into it, or that big name, that guy. Again, I think with Yelich being injured, this dings a bit the home run derby of at least getting eyeballs to watch in. Where hey, I know him, or at least I know what he's done. But again, there's no one in there for me, and I think probably for majority of baseball fans, or at least a good amount. Yeah. There's no one really to be invested in, or at least kind of cheer on and go, wow. We should be in for a nice little show tonight.
Again, it's about the fans, and that's what it's all about tonight.
Anyways.
So we'll catch maybe a little bit of it later on.